Hi, welcome to my Ag Life. We're at the Crop Consultant Conference Day 1. I'm here with Flo and Alejandro. They're with UC Davis. Flo just gave a great presentation on red blotch and almonds, but Flo and Alejandro work very closely together on this issue that's been affecting growers here for around the last year. It was first detected here in May 2024, if I remember correctly. So tell me a little bit about what we saw last year, how that's comparing to this year. It's an aggressive disease. What are we seeing this year?
Yeah, so in general, as you mentioned, we first detected it for the first time last year. And really, last year in our surveys of where the distribution was, we mainly saw it in 5 counties. And within the course of a single year, we really saw that it spread to all major almond-producing counties in California. So it is quite an aggressive disease, and it's spreading widely. And the big warning that we want to clarify is that, even if you may have a low incidence this year, by next year, we're seeing this very rapid reproduction of the spores, and thus the disease pressure could increase dramatically from one year to the next.
Definitely. It's safe to say, Alejandro, that it's going to take a statewide effort, being that it's spread to every almond-producing county in the state. It's going to take a statewide effort to get this under control. Something unique about the pathogen that causes red leaf blotch, as I understand, Flo, is that it's a latent pathogen, meaning that it incubates and it might not show up for, I think you said 30 to 45 days after it's on there in the leaf in the orchard. Tell me a little bit about the fact that it is a latent pathogen, why that really matters when thinking about disease management of red blotch.
Yeah, the most important fact about this latent incubation period, which is typically about 35 to 40 days. So most infection, most relation event will start to initiate early in February to mid-March. And so leaves will receive a spore, get infected, but only 35 to 45 days later, then we will see the symptoms. So this is very critical, specifically for disease management. Grower eventually may tend to see a few spots on the leaf to start initiating their fungicide application. However, with polystigma, this is not going to work. Okay, with polystigma, early preventive application at petal fall and 2 to 3 weeks post petal fall will be absolutely critical to manage the disease. And so again, what that incubation periods mean that the pathogen is already present in the leaf. It's already quietly, latently growing within the leaf, not causing symptoms. And again, the most important message here is to growers and PCAs not to wait for symptoms occurrence to start initiating fungicide application again.
Flo, you mentioned that disease management is already taking place for red blotch here in the state, especially with how severe it is. You mentioned several methods, including even picking up the leaves in an orchard, which in itself, that can be a costly endeavor for the grower. Can you summarize what's happening right now with the actual management of red leaf blotch and maybe what you want to see happen in the future management of this disease?
Yeah, so I think with red leaf blotch having appeared now in California, I think it's a game changer a little bit in our overall integrated pest management strategies of almond diseases. The disease is so aggressive to almond, it cannot be skipped into a spray program. So again, as Alejandro mentioned, only a couple of leaves this year within an orchard, 2-3 spots here and there, can mean a disease outbreak the following year. So we're advising every growers, every PCA to be on top of this specific timing where the recommendation is for fungicide application. Again, we mentioned petal fall, and then 2 to 3 weeks later, post petal fall, and eventually 5 to 6 weeks. So those timings are going to be key. And again, we've been working with quite a few ag chemical companies. Everybody has been nicely collaborating with us, providing some material that will be tested. And so what's happening now and what we're happy to see is this collaboration with ag chemical company allow us to move really fast in terms of product registration or especially a label extension, such as Trouillas label extension. We see a lot of product already. Most of the product we have tested and are efficient this year will be registered by next year for the management of red leaf blotch. So we're really happy to see things are moving really quickly. Again, the main emphasis for disease management and one we like to put forward is the use of chemical fungicide. We had really not so great result using biocontrol, but those mixed fungicide usually have done great at managing the disease. Yeah, so what we're happy to see is that most of this product will be registered by next year already. When it comes to trying to remove the leaves or trying to treat the leaf with urea or with sulfur. What we've learned from work in Spain is, in general or in summary, this is a lot of work for little results at the end. Unless this is a statewide effort where everybody's trying to eradicate leaves from an orchard, we could eventually see positive result. But if your neighbor basically is not doing the job, or if we have several abandoned orchards in the area, it will come at a lot of efforts for little result overall to try to remove the leaf litter where the main inoculum of red leaf blush reside.
Thank you for that, Flo. And as you mentioned in your presentation, there's quite a lot of information online about this disease right now between you guys over at University of California and the almond boards. A lot of supplementary info. It's also been researched in other countries that it's being affected with as well. So lots to see online. Alejandro, any other final thoughts here before we sign off?
No, I think Flo did a good summarization, and we can't emphasize this enough. You want to, when you think of managing, you want to think curative and not combative. You want to think ahead because, this disease will sneak up on you where you think your orchard looks fine, and then boom, you see the symptoms. And we got a lot of calls this year where growers thought that they may have skipped the disease, but it was highly present there.
Maybe a final message of hope is we really truly believe that we will be able to stay on top of red leaf blotch with the current recommendations and chemicals that are available to fight the disease. Just like in Spain, people are staying on top of this disease. We believe we'll do the same